What if you don't need to live in pain and suffering? What if you could give up your karma and have a life of abundance and joy? What if you could start creating magic and miracles that you never thought were possible? Get ready to listen, share, and experience the magic that is you. Now, here's the host of Creating Abundance with Ease radio show, Dr. Helen Gitlevich.
Welcome, I'm Dr. Helen Gitlevich on Creating Abundance with Ease, and today our show is Karma or Choice. Actually, it's a part two of the show. Um, how many of you believe in karma? What if I told you that you have a choice? Last week, we started talking about it with surprise guest Laleh Hancock, and yeah, the topic is so big that I've chosen to talk about that again. Let's play with the concepts of karma or choice. Let's see what's available to change karma to change or choose life with more ease. I'm a medical doctor who became access consciousness facilitator, Akashic Record teacher, 3-day body facilitator. I have many hats. Symphony practitioner, advanced, and I invite people to a different possibility with their health, with their money, relationship, through private sessions and classes around the world, using both access consciousness tools and Akashic records. So, what is karma? We started talking about that, but I'm going to read actually from Wikipedia. Term karma refers to both executed deed, work, action, act, and the object intent. So it's actually both sides. So whatever we experienced or whatever we've done. And when we are talking about karma, we're talking about something that's inevitable in some ways, pretty much destiny. So destiny cannot be changed. All of those things, actually, a lot of it is not true. We can change anything. Even um, Hindu um, theory, or I wouldn't say religion, but their philosophy talks about that you can change karma through kind of like doing the good deeds, finishing your karma, playing your karma out, and then it's over. And eventually you go into heaven, I guess. But what if it's much easier than we think? What if it's just about choosing something different? And I've talked a lot about forgiveness, a lot of it as a key to changing your karma, changing what is, what will be, because karma is unfinished business. It's something we've done to us, to somebody else, or they've done to us, and then we continue carrying resentment, continuing to carry thoughts of vengeance. A lot of times in access, we even ask, whose turn is it to kill this lifetime? And that sounds weird, strange, and funny. It's like, wait a second, I'm not going to kill anybody this lifetime. Um, how about emotionally? How about spiritually? How about the abuse? A lot of times we see a person and immediately our heart is pounding and we think we're in love. 50% or maybe even more, that person might have killed us in the other lifetime, or we killed them or tortured, and now we're seeing them. Does it mean they kill us? Does it mean we kill them? Both of it creates a reaction, adrenaline rush. It's one of those fight or flight responses. And we don't realize that if we mistake that for love or lust or whatever it is in the moment, then we might marry that person. And that's when the marriage becomes a battlefield. Fighting, controlling, abusing, gaslighting, all of that is part of playing out something that happened 500 years ago, 1,000 years, trillion years ago. One of the ways of shifting that, especially if you're in a relationship that's not what you desire, is to start with forgiveness. In Akashic Records, we have a forgiveness prayer. And forgiveness is not the concept that a lot of people are actually familiar with. They think forgiveness is kind of like forgive and forget, and they do it again, and we do it again. Or go to church and ask forgiveness, whatever that ritual called. I'm Jewish, sorry, we don't have that ritual of confessing your sins. Um, but we do that on Yom Kippur, kind of like Day of Atonement, where we ask forgiveness from God, from people. And it's actually a tradition. And it's coming up in a few months, usually September. The Yom Kippur, where when the holiday starts, we're trying to create a clean slate. So we would call, we would see people that we might not even seen for years and ask their forgiveness. And the way we do it is just ask, forgive me, forgive me, forgive me. And the person doesn't even have to forgive us. If we ask forgiveness, it's already kind of like written in the book of life that you're kind of like forgiven. So you kind of clear your karma that way, the karma for the last year. And then you can start your clean slate again and you can create a new karma if you choose to. So all of that is based on cause and effect. You do something and you pay later. Pretty much just like our society. If you buy something, you pay. If you get something for free, you pay in a different way. And would you be willing to let go of those concepts, please? What if there is no karma? What if you can just clear it and choose to be? There are ways, there are tools to do that. And as I said, one of them, forgiveness, where you just allow the universe to cleanse you from everything you've done. I'm going to read the forgiveness prayer so you get the feeling of what is that according to Akashic Records, not necessarily according to this reality. So I allow the forgiveness of the universe to flow through me, to cleanse me from anything that I have done, been, seen, heard, to anyone or anything, consciously or unconsciously, in any time, space, dimension, or reality. I allow the forgiveness of the universe to flow through me, to cleanse me from anything that I have experienced that was done, been seen, and heard to me by anyone or anything, consciously or unconsciously, in any time, space, dimension, or reality. I allow the forgiveness of the universe to flow through me, to cleanse me from anything that I have done, been seen, and heard to me, by me, consciously or unconsciously, in any time, space, dimension, or reality. So, as you can see, it has three parts. Because karma has multiple parts as well. Because karma is not just what we've done or what we've done to others or they done to us, it's also what we have done to ourselves. And how much more abusive are you to you than to others? I mean, just for a second, think of all the times that you judged yourself and you say, no, 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 I'm kind to me. I love me. Really, do you truly love you? Do you trust you? Or do you constantly judge you? Every judgment is a lie. Every judgment is pretty much an abuse, especially when you go into wrongness of you. And you know that anytime when you feel heavy, when you feel contracted, when you feel something is off, unless you are totally joyful, happy, expanded, anything else is a lie. And anything else connected to probably karma or connected to the destiny, even saying those words, feel the energy. When I say karma, destiny, purpose, sorry, makes me nauseous. And what if I say forgiveness, joy, love, happiness? How much lighter do you get? Gratitude, especially. What if instead of karma and all the things that we have to pay for, what if we choose to be grateful? Even in the moment, even if we are in a situation when somebody is hurting us according to our judgments, what if we can be grateful even for that and then choose something different? What I found in my life, if I'm upset and hurt, and in that karmic, I'm going to make them pay for it, there is no lightness in that my universe. And I also cannot choose anything else but feel this way or have those emotions. It's almost like, not almost, it is a programming. So just think of a moment where you were upset. Yeah, there is no choice. That's the no choice universe. That's the cause and effect. And what if in that moment you choose forgiveness and grateful? Okay, you're grateful for them being an asshole or a bitch or whatever they are. And now what would I choose? Cool. I'm in that situation. Cool. What can I choose now? Okay, I can walk away and say, you know what? Thank you very much. I'm very grateful for you. And you can stay here. I'm going over there. You can play with your toys over here. I'm going to choose a different toy that will create more for me. Simple? And you say, yeah, but it's not easy. Okay, it's time for our first break of the show. And when we come back, we'll talk more about the karma, about everything that you can or cannot do in this reality and how you can or cannot do or get out of the situation that you're in. And you've been listening to Creating Abundance with myself, Dr. Helen Gitlevich, on Inspired Choices Network. And we'll be right back.
Many of us live our lives based on karma, on the past, and all the unfinished business in our lives. What would you choose if you did not have karma, or if you could choose what you desired instead? By tuning into Creating Abundance with Ease radio show with Dr. Helen Gitlevich, you'll receive tools and inspiration you can use to create the abundance in your life. You are an infinite being with infinite choices. Are you ready to have ease with creating abundance? Listen for Creating Abundance with Ease radio show every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email become a host at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.
This is the Creating Abundance with Ease show with Dr. Helen Gitlevich. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to helen.g@att.net. Now, back to the program.
Welcome, everyone. I'm Dr. Helen Gitlevich on Creating Abundance with Ease. And today our show topic is Karma or Choice, Part 2. As I said in the first part, that the topic is so huge that we have to continue from last week. And also, before we went on a break, we were talking about gratitude and forgiveness as a superhero fighting against karma and destiny. And what forgiveness is or what forgiveness is not. And also a little bit about me. I kind of mentioned that being a doctor, I became facilitator of access consciousness and teacher of Akashic Records. And I invite people to a different possibility in their lives through tools of both of those techniques. And with forgiveness or gratitude. So we started doing the exercise before we went on a break. Think of somebody who you're extremely upset with. Maybe even hate them. Maybe even you hurt them, they hurt you, or you're feeling guilty about something. Just get that situation in front of you. Kind of like bring it into your awareness. You don't have to take it on, just bring it in your awareness. And let's do forgiveness prayer. It's not about forgiving them, because if I tell you, oh, just forgive them and forget it, it ain't going to work. Trust me, I tried it. Also, when we try to make it work or push ourselves to forgive, what happens a lot of times, we suppress it. We go into acceptance of what is instead of just being with that and kind of like, okay, cool. I'm aware of it. I'm an allowance of it. They can do whatever they want, but over there, don't hurt me. It's about, and then what happens is when you suppress it, it goes into subconscious. And you might not even, like, if you try to forget it, so you don't remember what happened. And so you go through the same cycles. And that's what karma is. You repeat the same thing over and over again, pretty much definition of insanity according to Einstein. But you don't even know that you made that decision of forgiving, which is not a true forgiveness. It's more of actually choosing to be with that and allow it just to wreak havoc in your life. It's about being present with what is. So let's have that situation in front of you. And I'm going to read a forgiveness prayer, because that's different than just suppressing it, pushing it in the background where it wreaks havoc. Have that situation or multiple situations. You can do it with multiple situations. I allow the forgiveness of the universe to flow through me, to cleanse me from anything that I have done, been, seen, heard, to anyone or anything, consciously or unconsciously, in any time, space, dimension, or reality. I allow the forgiveness of the universe to flow through me, to cleanse me from anything that I have experienced that was done, been, seen, heard to me by anyone or anything, consciously or unconsciously, in any time, space, dimension, or reality. I allow the forgiveness of the universe to flow through me, to cleanse me from anything that I have done, been, seen, and heard, to me, by me, consciously or unconsciously, in any time, space, dimension, or reality. So look at the situation again. How do you feel about it now? Are you still as angry? Let's do it one more time. I allow the forgiveness of the universe to flow through me, to cleanse me from anything that I have done, been, seen, heard, to anyone or anything, consciously or unconsciously, in any time, space, dimension, or reality. I allow the forgiveness of the universe to flow through me, to cleanse me from anything that I have experienced that was done, been, seen, heard, to me by anyone or anything, consciously or unconsciously, in any time, space, dimension, or reality. So, how are you feeling now? Is it even lighter? Cool. What if that's how you actually shift and change your life? Because now that you're a little bit lighter, I'm hoping I'm pulling it out of your heads. Can you be grateful for that person in your life? Like they've been in your life, or maybe they're no longer in your life. How you feel? It's kind of like, what if you can be grateful? And what would you choose now? That you don't have all those emotions and feelings of anger, shame, blame, regret. What can you choose with them? Are you going to choose to stay with them? Maybe. Maybe they will change. Because a lot of times, if we have certain points of view and expectations, other people play out those expectations, those roles we assign to them. It's funny how everything kind of like shifts and change if we change our attitude. I remember dating a guy, and he was telling me how every woman he dated treated him like shit, and pretty much been a bitch to him. And I'm like, okay, interesting choices he made. And 2 to 3 weeks into the kind of like dating him, I found myself kind of like changing around him. I could not even stop myself saying hurtful things or behaving in a weird way that would not be a kindness. And at that time, I realized that I don't want to be around him because I don't like me being around him. Because he had those expectations of his girlfriend or anybody that he's dating that women are bitches. And I could not do anything. I didn't have the choice. And it might have kind of like been prior lifetimes, it might have been other karmic and cause and effect. I have no clue in this 10 seconds, but I still, if I had the forgiveness prayer at that time, might have shifted something. So if I actually let go of my expectations, maybe he would have let go of his. Or if I, with somebody that I have expectation of, they don't have a chance in a million years of changing if I have that expectation and I'm not letting it go. So think of a person that you have expectations, either bad or good, doesn't matter. Because both of them, like karma has two sides, the good and the bad, right and the wrong, finished, unfinished. So it's all black and white or whatever colors you want to, kind of like the opposite colors. It's pretty much no choice universe. when you're dealing with karma. And as I said, antidote might be choice. But to get to choice, a lot of times we have to go through forgiveness, through letting go of those belief systems, letting go of fixed points of view, letting go of all the expectation, projection, and rejection. Just like I said, in Jewish tradition, Yom Kippur is kind of cleaning out the slate. So, and yes, it's done out of fear, out of traditions, out of a lot of things. And yet, to me, a lot of times I feel lighter after Yom Kippur after doing that. If I didn't do it, because there were a few years that I didn't do it, either like certain circumstances, there are always excuses. And let me tell you, if you're not choosing something that's for you, it's a lot of times related either to karma or something, some point of view that you have that you haven't even acknowledged. It might be like so deep in subconscious that you might not even know or that it's there. You might not even be aware of it. And yet, if you choose to play with forgiveness, a lot of it will go away. Because for that, we don't have to know what's under there. Because if you kind of listen to the forgiveness prayer, it's to cleanse you of anything that was done. Conscious, unconscious, subconscious, anti-conscious, whatever you kind of like chosen throughout millions of years. If you're ready to let it go, it will be erased. I'm not sure how it works technically and physically because a lot of it is programming in the brain, programming in the body, in the cells, in the molecules. A lot of it is stored in the DNA. So a lot of people found when they use forgiveness, not necessarily Akashic Records prayers, not necessarily any technique, but when they truly forgave, truly let go of any attachments. I know there were stories of cancer patients when they were told, write down the list of all the people that they're upset with, who upset them, they upset them, doesn't matter. And either ask their forgiveness or forgive them. And a lot of time, those people actually get rid of cancer just through that. I mean, of course, they used chemotherapy, but they said that traditional medicine might or might not help. But with forgiveness, meditation, visualization, a lot of times, even such deadly disease as cancer has reversed itself. So right before we go on a break, I still like to read one more time. I allow the forgiveness of the universe to flow through me, to cleanse me from anything that I have done, been, seen, heard to anyone or anything, consciously or unconsciously, in any time, space, dimension, or reality. I allow the forgiveness of the universe to flow through me, to cleanse me from anything that I have experienced that was done, been, seen, and heard to me by anyone or anything, consciously or unconsciously, in any time, space, dimension, or reality. I allow the forgiveness of the universe to flow through me, to cleanse me from anything that I have done, been, seen, and heard to me, by me, consciously or unconsciously, in any time, space, dimension, or reality. And just sense how your body feels. And it's time for our second break of the show. And you've been listening to Creating Abundance with Ease with myself, Dr. Helen Gitlevich, on Inspired Choices Network. We'll be right back.
Many of us live our lives based on karma, on the past, and all the unfinished business in our lives. What would you choose if you did not have karma, or if you could choose what you desired instead? By tuning into Creating Abundance with Ease radio show with Dr. Helen Gitlevich, You'll receive tools and inspiration you can use to create the abundance in your life. You are an infinite being with infinite choices. Are you ready to have ease with creating abundance? Listen for Creating Abundance with Ease radio show every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Magic and abundance are everywhere. What if you could tap into abundance and start creating your life with complete and total ease? Working with Dr. Helen Gitlevich will give you exactly that, total ease in creating abundance in your life. Dr. Gitlevich creates classes all over the world, both in person and online. She works with you to create abundance with your money, with your body, with your relationships, with all areas of your life with total ease. Connect with Dr. Helen Gitlevich at creatingabundancewithease.com. Her contribution in your world will be a noticeable gift in a very short period of time.
How wonderful would it be to carry your favorite Inspired Choices Network host with you throughout your day? Well, now you can. Inspired Choices Network now has its very own mobile app. Our free app offers live streaming shows, along with thousands of podcasts and TV episodes. Our shows cover a wide variety of topics. Whether you're waking up with us, carrying us through the day, and taking us to bed with you, we're always here for you to enjoy. We're easy to find. Just search for Inspired Choices Network in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store.
This is the Creating Abundance with Ease show with Dr. Helen Gitlevich. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to helen.g@att.net. Now, back to the program.
Welcome, everyone. And I am Dr. Helen Gitlevich. I'm Creating Abundance with Ease. And today, our show topic is continuation of karma or choice from last week. And you're welcome to listen to last week's show where I had a surprise guest, Laleh Hancock, who was visiting me. And we were talking about what is karma. And it was such a huge topic that I decided to continue with that. And in the first part or second part of the show, I was talking about forgiveness and how subconsciously or unconsciously we carry those things and act out based on the old emotion, old programming, not even realizing that. Why am I saying that? Think of a moment you met somebody. You have no idea who they are, but suddenly you're angry or you love them and you have no clue why. Well, there are quite a few reasons and justifications of why. It could be they're your lover from the prior life, or they might be your husband, maybe somebody who killed you, maybe somebody who loved you, somebody who tortured you. It doesn't matter, whatever it was, prior lifetimes. The other possibility, they remind you of somebody from this lifetime who maybe hurt you, or maybe you loved them, and they look somewhat similar, not necessarily visually, it might be energetic. And you suddenly like attracted to that person, or you hate them because you had somebody who hurt you in the past. So there is so many reasons, and that's where that cause and effect, the karma comes in, because it's all based on cause and effect. You did something and you pay later. Somebody did it to you and then you make them pay, or the universe make them pay. It's all tied into that big wheels of samskara, which is pretty much pain and suffering. And the only way to get out of it, according to a lot of traditions, is to pay your dues, to go through the cycles of reincarnation and do the good deeds, and eventually maybe you'll get out of it and go to heaven, to nirvana. Nobody knows what nirvana is, nobody knows what anything is, partly because we tend not to remember our past lives. We tend not to remember even childhood, not in the great details. You might have like certain memories, but a lot of it is suppressed, repressed for some reason, because we might not want to remember, or it wasn't significant in our lives, or whatever we try to avoid. And that's why we kind of repeat the same mistakes over. Kind of like similar relationship. I know with me, I tended to marry alcoholics and drug addicts twice. Didn't help. Kind of like I kind of knew and still chose, partly because I found out later I'm kind of like a healer, so I try to heal people. Not the best choice. And saying that, I didn't have the choice. That was all based on destiny, based on karma, based on that wheels of samskara that we have to suffer and pay for the suffering we did before. And all of it, does it make you feel light? No, because it's all not true. And yet, we live our lives according to that. We live our lives as though it is true. And that's actually a tool from Access Consciousness. Gary Douglas and Dr. Dane here, co-founder of Access. Light and heavy. Whatever is true makes you feel light. Whatever is heavy is a lie. So everything about karma and destiny and all of that, or at least 99% of that, is a lie, in the sense that we can choose something different. There are infinite possibilities, not just the possibilities of paying our dues, not the possibilities of changing our karma through pain and suffering. We can just say the prayers and allow. It's all about what we choose. If we choose to let go of all of that, we can. That's why the prayers work, because it's all based on choice. The prayer would not work if you don't kind of like choose. Because you can say, okay, it doesn't work. I will say the prayer, but it doesn't work. It might still work, even if you don't believe in it. But it might not work as well if you're actually choosing it. And I'm not saying believing in that it will work, because that is not necessary. What I'm talking about is you choosing to let go of that anger or shame or blame, saying, I'm done. I'm done with suffering. I'm choosing something different. Not out of necessity or pushing yourself, just kind of like, oh, my life, some things work. And by the way, whatever works is not going to go away if you choose to let go of pain and suffering. You actually will create more. Saying that, it depends on what you consider joy. Because recently I found out that, to me, joy apparently was suffering. You know how you say, what a joy? Like sarcastically? Universe and our mind and our bodies do not distinguish when we say it sarcastically or what's true. I'm going to say it again. The universe and our brain cannot distinguish when we say something or think something in a sarcastic, kind of double meaning way, it takes it literally. So when we say about some painful experience or something we're going that's not fun or something that's difficult like illness, and we say, oh, joy, or joy again, or it's, yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with that. Guess what you're creating in the future? Yeah, when you're asking for more fun or joy, the universe remembers you saying when you were in pain or suffering and you say, what a joy, it's like, oh, wait, you want more of that kind of joy or that kind of fun? Let's create that. I'm going to use, and that's part of like forgiveness of yourself. You can use forgiveness prayer, or you can use a clearing statement from access consciousness to clear those belief systems. Because that's a belief system that joy is pain or fun is pain. Because in one of the classes I took with Dr. Dane here, one woman asked that the more she's asking for joy, the more she is getting pain. And that's when we found out that she misidentified joy as pain and pain as joy. So, all of you who actually made your body suffer by kind of like being sarcastic, not being literal, let's forgive ourselves. Start right now. I allow the forgiveness of the universe to flow through me, to cleanse me from anything that I have done, been, seen, and heard, to anyone or anything, consciously or unconsciously, in any time, space, dimension, or reality. I allow the forgiveness of the universe to flow through me, to cleanse me from anything that I have experienced that was done, been, seen, and heard to me by anyone or anything, consciously or unconsciously, in any time, space, dimension, or reality. I allow the forgiveness of the universe to flow through me, to cleanse me from anything that I have done, been, seen, and heard to me, by me, consciously or unconsciously, in any time, space, dimension, or reality. How are you feeling right now? It's time for, yeah, I think it's time for the break. It's our third final break of the show. And when we return, we'll talk more about karma, of course, but we also will talk about what's coming up, what classes coming up, what events coming up. And you've been listening to Creating Abundance with Ease with myself, Dr. Helen Gitlevich, on Inspired Choices Network. And we'll be right back.
Many of us live our lives based on karma, on the past, and all the unfinished business in our lives. What would you choose if you did not have karma, or if you could choose what you desired instead? By tuning into Creating Abundance with Ease radio show with Dr. Helen Gitlevich, you'll receive tools and inspiration you can use to create the abundance in your life. You are an infinite being with infinite choices. Are you ready to have ease with creating abundance? Listen for Creating Abundance with Ease radio show every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
This is the Creating Abundance with Ease show with Dr. Helen Gitlevich. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to helen.g@att.net. Now, back to the program.
Welcome, everyone. I'm Dr. Helen Gitlevich on Creating Abundance with Ease. And today, our show topic is Karma or Choice Part 2. And as it says, Part 2, Last week we were with Laleh talking about karma, Laleh Hancock, and you can listen to that show from before, as well as in the first two parts of the show, or actually three parts of the show, we were talking about forgiveness. We were talking about how karma affects our lives, how our brain does not distinguish between what's literal, what's sarcastic, and just how we affect our lives through that. And also, I promised to talk about what's coming up. And there are a few things coming up. Um, Actually, the body classes that I was supposed to do in London and in Taiwan has to be moved because of quarantine and COVID and all kinds of systems of control in those countries. So Taiwan at this present time moved to November. England probably will be moved to November or January. Also, I schedule a couple of classes with Rachel Silber. Will be co-facilitating Being You One Day Adventures, two of them. Being You with Earth and Being You with Body. One of them is 13, 14 of August. It's going to be one day split in two, 3 hours each. It's a little easier on people when it's the 3 hour classes are telecalls than actual full day. Easier or not, interesting point of view. And Being You with Body is 20th, 21st of August. It's about literally choosing more for you, changing everything, changing karma. Also, it's going to be kind of like a challenge. 31 days zone, like zone free from judgment. We're going to be playing with possibility of stop judging and choosing more for us based on that, because any judgment is a lie. So when we lying, we're creating more karma. As we know, any negative deed creates negative karma, positive, positive. But what if it's not? What if we can just let go of all of it and just be with no judgment, with no kind of like karma, just choosing, just having a totally different reality with our bodies, with earth. It's also on July 29, I will be doing a free Zoom, Creating with Your Body. It's going to be translated into Mandarin. And by the way, any class can be translated into multiple languages if you choose to, if we have enough people asking for it. Um, Sometimes even one is enough to get a translator, but just ask. Ask if you need a translation, and we can always talk to the translator and be available for that particular Zoom or for that event, the 31 days. It's going to be in Facebook. The Facebook group has been created specifically for that, where Laleh Hancock and I will be going live. We'll be creating like little posts to support people and answer questions and maybe facilitating people, kind of like a hot seat if they choose during those 31 days. And who knows, maybe the 31 days will turn into a year or 2 years or whatever. Just like with Rachel Silver, we did out of control clearings. And you can watch those in Being You Without Hiding group. We actually did, we started with 30 days and it was 60 and then it was 100 days. The 31 days will start on August, officially will start on August 1st, but the Facebook is open to join even now. It will be more posts as we go along, but you can join anytime. It's up to you to join if you choose to get rid of your judgments. And when you join a group, you might see the past posts as well. Also, this show is every Wednesday, live at 11 o'clock Central Standard Time, 12 o'clock Eastern Time, and you can find out more about that. You can also find out more from the app. There is an app for Inspired Choices Network where you can watch and listen all the um, radio. We're so used to radio shows, but all the hosts of the shows on Inspired Choices Network, past or live, or find out about the future shows. Next week, I'm going to be doing Valuing You, and we'll talk more about how we totally disregard us, which is kind of stems from karma. So you might want to listen to this show once or twice and maybe use forgiveness prayer. And I'll ask if we can add forgiveness prayer in the description of the show later on in the podcast section. We have only a couple of minutes left, and I would like to take that time to read the prayer again to kind of remind you, or if you're just starting to listen to the show, or if you're listening to it in the future, you get a little bit more feel of what it does to your body, to your being, to your soul. And because the soul keeps reincarnating and kind of like because it forgot what it was before, it's creating more. And sometimes based on karma, the soul chooses suffering because it didn't forgive in a previous lifetime, or there is unfinished business, unfinished contracts. There is so much about karma that cannot cover in 1 hour. And yet, what if you don't have to know all of it about the karma? What if you can just choose to forgive and just use the forgiveness prayer, even if you don't have no clue of what you're forgiving? Because as I said, a lot of things in the subconscious or the imprinting on the soul that came from other lifetimes, because when the soul leaves the body, it pretty much takes all of it, all the memories, all the experiences as electromagnetic imprinting into the new body. That's why kids get cancer, or kids die young, or people get certain genetic diseases. It's might be from other lifetime, might be this lifetime. Doesn't matter. If you choose to allow the forgiveness to cleanse you, a lot of times certain things change. And please don't expect it to change, because the more expectation you put on a prayer, the less it works. On any tools for that matter. If you're expecting something to work, might not. Just choose for you. Choose what's fun. And again, make sure you don't associate fun with pain. So let me read it one more before the music starts. I allow the forgiveness of the universe to flow through me, to cleanse me from anything that I have done, been, seen, and heard, to anyone or anything, consciously or unconsciously, in any time, space, dimension, or reality. I allow the forgiveness of the universe to flow through me, to cleanse me from anything that I have experienced that was done, been, seen, and heard to me by anyone or anything, consciously or unconsciously, in any time, space, dimension, or reality. I allow the forgiveness of the universe to flow through me, to cleanse me from anything that I have done, been, seen, and heard to me, by me, consciously or unconsciously, in any time, space, dimension, or reality.
Thank you
Bye-bye,
for
and
choosing
I'll
to listen
see
to
you next
Creating
week.
Abundance with Ease radio show. Dr. Helen Gitlevich will return next Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. We hope you'll join us. Until then, have fun using the tools of the week in your life and start creating magic in your life and your body.